Now in test 1, section 3 we are going to take section 3 and 4, and this is listening question. So question 21 to 30, for that we have a conversation, and this conversation will be presented to you in actual exam, but I will imitate it here. So please read it carefully. Teacher, we are starting now, okay? Teacher, before we start, Spyros and Hirako, thanks for coming in today to talk about your recent study experiences, and congratulations to you both in doing so well in your first semester exams. I would like to discuss with you the value of the English for academic purposes courses you did here last year before starting any university course. Spyros, if I could start with you, which part of the program have now proved to be particularly valuable to you? Spyros.
I think that having to do a seminar's presentation really helped me. For example, a couple of weeks ago in our marketing subject, when it was my turn to give a presentation, I felt quite confident. Of course, I was still nervous, but because I had done one before, I knew what to expect. Also, I know I was well prepared and I had practiced my timing, so practice helped me. In fact, I think that in relation to some of the other people in my group, I did quite a good job because my overall style was quite professional. What about you, Hirako?
That's interesting. In my group, I was really surprised by the way the student did their presentation. They just read their notes aloud. Can you believe that? They didn't worry about their presentation style or keeping eye contact with their audience. And I remember that these things were really stressed to us in the course here. So, how did you approach your presentation, Hirako? Well, to speak frankly, I read my notes too. At the time, it was a relief to do it this way, but actually, when I had finished, I didn't feel any real sense of satisfaction. I didn't feel positive about the experience at all.
That's a pity. Although I was pleased with my presentation, I'm not so pleased with my actual performance right now in the tutorials. During the whole semester, I have not said anything in our tutorial discussions, not a word.
Really, Spyros? Why is that? Do the other students talk too much?
It's partly that, but it's mostly because I have had no confidence to speak up. Their style of speaking is so different. It's not the style we were used to during the course. They use so many colloquialisms and they were not very polite, and sometimes there seems to be no order in their discussion. Also, they are very familiar with each other. So because they know each other's habits, they can let each other into the discussion. You're right, Sparrows. I've experienced that too. For most of the semester, I've said absolutely nothing in tutorials, but recently I've been trying to speak up more and I just jump in. And I've noticed an interesting thing. I have noticed that if they thought my point was interesting or new, then the next time they actually asked for my opinion, and then it was much easier for me to be a part of the discussion. That's great, Hinoko. I hope that happens for me next semester. I'll have to work hard to find some interesting points. What helped you to find these ideas?
I think that the one thing that I helped me that this was the reading. I have had to do so much reading this semester just to help me make sense of the lectures. At first, I couldn't understand what the lecture was talking about, so I had to turn to the books and journals. Every night, I read for hours.
using the list of references that were given, and I made pages of notes. At breakfast, I read and read my notes again. This habit has helped me to follow the ideas in the lectures, and it also gives me some ideas to use in the tutorials. But I did so much reading anyway. I don't think there is any time left over for anything extra. My reading speed is still quite good, though I am much better at dealing with vocabulary than I used to be. So, what else do you think we could add to the course program to help with this reading program? There's not really anything because it's my problem. I remember we were given long articles to read. We didn't like that, but now I realize that reading those long articles was good preparation for the things I need to read now. Also, in class we regularly had speed reading tasks to do, and we kept a record of our reading speed. So the teachers were encouraging us to work on that. That's true, Spyros, but what we read could have been different. Sometimes in the English class, I felt frustrated when I had to read articles about the environment or health or education, but I wanted to concentrate on my field. But we didn't read anything about engineering, so I think I wasted time learning vocabulary I didn't need. But surely the strategies you were taught for dealing with that vocabulary was helpful. Yes, but psychologically speaking, I would have felt much more working on reading from my own field. What do you think, Spyros? I agree, but would have helped my confidence too, and I would have been more motivated. I was good though that we could work on our topic when we wrote the research assignments. Okay, let's move on to writing now. So this was the conversation I tried to imitate, and now this listening will be given only once. Please understand that there'll be no playing second time. So this was quite a long conversation. So let us start with the questions. The 21st question is our one reason why Spiros felt happy about his marketing presentation was in the conversation, Spyro said, "My overall style was quite professional. My overall style was quite professional, so his style was good." This one. 22. What surprised Hiroko about other students' presentation? They didn't worry about their presentation style or keeping eye contact with their audience. So, they didn't look at the audience enough. This is what Hiroko thought. 23rd. After she gave her presentation, Hiroko felt, I didn't feel any real sense of satisfaction. So she was dissatisfied actually. 24th is how does Spyros feel about his performance in tutorials? 24. Again, Spyros has said that I'm not so pleased with my actual performance right now in the tutorials. So he's not really pleased, or she's not really pleased. Then why can the other students participate so easily in discussions? Why? 25th. In the discussion, Spyros has said they are very familiar with each other, so because they know each other's habit, they can let each other into the discussion. Right? They know each other very well, so this one will be the answer. 26. Why is Hiroko feeling more positive about tutorials now? Tutorials? 26. Because in the conversation, Hiroko said, I've been trying to speak up more and I just jump in.
So for that, the Hiroko for 26, you can easily choose that I have. But recently, I've been trying to speak up more and listening them, and I have noticed an interesting thing. I've noticed that if they thought my point was interesting or new, the next time they actually asked to my opinion, right? So that she is making more of the contribution, right? This is a good one. Second B1. 27. To help her understand lectures, Hiroko. 27. So I had to turn to books and journals. This is what Hiroko said. So journals. A. Consulted reference materials. Then 28. What does Spiros think of his reading skills? This was, in 28th, Spiros has said that my reading speed is still quite slow. So, it still takes him a long time to read. So B will be the correct answer. 29. What is Hiroko's subject area? I wanted to concentrate on my own field, but we didn't read anything about engineering. So engineering was Hiroko's field. 30. Hiroko thinks that in the reading classes, the students should, what students should do? Learn vocabulary or what? Read more in their own subject area, develop better reading strategies. In the last part of the conversation, Hiroko has said that I would have felt much better working on reading from my own field. So B will be the correct answer. So we have just completed our section 3 and there was a long conversation, and we'll be seeing section 4 shortly. So thank you so much. Take care.